Hello everybody and welcome to Birdsnest Designs. Today I'm here to share with you a really quick video on how I made my February customer thank you cards using the New Horizons Designer Series paper and the Mountain Air stamp set, along with a greeting from the Inspired Thoughts stamp set. First of all, let's talk about the New Horizons paper because it is absolutely stunning. That's what I've used for the base here, and you can see I've got some samples on this little sheet here of what the patterns look like. It is absolutely gorgeous. It's available in the January to June mini catalog. It's 6x6. It's awesome. You will love it, I promise. So that's what we're going to use for the base. As I mentioned, the Mountain Air and Inspired Thought stamp sets are being used as well. Both of these can be found on my online store or in the annual catalog. And here is the card we're going to create. And then at the end of the video, I'm going to show you another alternative that I made exactly the same way, just switching up some colors and one of the stamps. Okay, so here's our Designer Series paper, 6x6 New Horizons that I've chosen to use. As I mentioned, this card is super simple and you actually can make two cards at one time. So let me show you that. What's great is we're going to use only two ink colors. We're going to use Night of Navy and Sahara Sand. So let's start with the Night of Navy. And from the Mountain Air stamp set, I am going to be using this trees along the horizon there. I'm going to use this double tree stamp, the moon, and these little birds. So I've got the large line of trees here. I'm going to ink that up using Night of Navy. And if you can see on this paper, it looks right here like it's a divide between the green and the blue and these nice little white marks. So I'm going to stamp this right across there, leaving even-ish space on either side. Okay, so I'm just going to give that. Perfect. Now look how that makes that look. It just really brings to light that horizon look on this paper. And then I'm going to take my double trees. And remember, this is a 6x6 piece of paper. So what I'm doing is I'm essentially creating two cards on one time here. So I'm going to stamp my trees now on the end here, one on that side and one on this side, just to tie all of that together and bring some depth to this scenery that we're creating. Okay, so that's stamped. I'm just going to set my navy ink over because we are going to need it again. And then I'm going to bring in my paper trimmer. And I am going to trim down. I don't know if you guys can see this very well. My camera is fairly zoomed in. But I'm going to trim this down so that it measures 4 3/4 by 3. So I am going to take off, do it this way, 3/4 of an inch down here. No, I'm not. I'm taking off 1/2 inch down here. And that was only 1/4, Denise. So one more quarter, we're taking 1/2 inch off the bottom. And then we're going to go to 4 3/4 here, cut the remainder off the top. And now I want it 3, so I'm going to cut this in half on the 3 mark. And there we've created 2 card focal points. So we've created essentially the mirror image of what we used here as the focal. Okay, so we've got those done. Now I'm going to stamp the moon and I'm going to use Sahara Sand. And to make the moon look nice and faded into the sky here, this nice smoky sky, we're going to just ink it, stamp it off, stamp it on. Okay, so it's nice and faint. Stamp it off, stamp it on. Okay, and you guys can see that in the video, how nice and light that moon is. Okay, so we'll bring back the Night of Navy ink, and then we're going to use these adorable little flying birds, and we're just going to stamp them a couple over top of the moon just to bring some dimension. You can create a lot of dimension just by the way you stamp and the positioning of where you're stamping. So it's awesome. All right, so there we go. We've got our scenery made. So again, I've got strips here that are 1/2 inch by 2 3/4, just of basic white. And I've got my thank you so much stamp that is part of the Inspired Thought stamp set. This one's beautiful. I love the nice simple font and all the variety of sayings that are here. So we're going to just stamp that thank you so much on here. All right, so essentially I'm making 2 cards here. That's awesome. All right, so now I've got some Night of Navy pieces. They're already cut down to 4 inches by 3 1/4. So just a 1/4 inch larger than this stamped piece that we have. So I'm only going to assemble one of these cards final here because the other one will just be exactly the same. So we're gonna just, oh my goodness sakes. So we're gonna stamp this right here, get that nice and centered. There we go. Okay, I'm just gonna set this one aside. I'll put that card together later, but you can see how we've got now this nice point here. I've got my Sahara Sand card base, which is just 8.5 by 5.5, scored in half at 4 1/4. I'm going to go ahead and fold that, and I'll use my bone folder, which I just have my really stained one here. Okay, nice and crisp fold. We're simply going to take this and use my Stampin' Seal. Going to attach that off to the left hand side to leave it a little off centered, like so. I'm going to take my thank you so much. We're going to attach a couple of dimensionals, 3 lots. So put one in the middle, one on either end, like so. Peel those off, and then we're just going to sit that on here, like so. And then to finish it off, we're just going to add a little bit of bling by using the faceted elegant gems, or elegant faceted gems. And find my take a pick tool, and we're just going to choose one of these and just stick it right on the end there. And there we have it. Our card is all complete. It was super simple. And remember that when all that stamping, I had enough to make 2. So awesome card to make, really, really effective, really gorgeous, and really simple. Here's the other alternative I made. This one I used a purple shaded designer series paper piece. And rather than using the trees, I just substituted it for the mountains. And I stamped it once and then double stamped it up without inking again. And I've used Blackberry Bliss ink there instead of the Night of Navy, but the moon and the birds are still the same. Well, these are Blackberry Bliss as well, but as you can see, 2 cards, different looks, but completely the same steps and completely beautiful just the same. So thank you so much for watching. I hope I've inspired you to give these products a try. If you'd like to purchase them to add them to your collection, you can visit my online store. There's links to all of the products I've used today in the description of today's video. So have a lovely day, and I hope to see you back here real soon. Cheers!